Good morning and welcome to the Brick by Brick podcast with Ronald Paulius. It's a Monday morning, and I have a special guest here with us. Excited to dive into her story and hear about some of her business goals and business wins. I am I met her at a day with Pace, which we'll talk about in another episode. But welcome, Mary Noon. Thank you for giving some of your time here this morning.
Of course. Thank you, Ronald. I'm so excited to be here and talk with you.
Awesome. Would you share a little bit about yourself for so my listeners could get a good idea of who you are?
Yeah, of course. So, my name's Mary. I live in Los Angeles with my husband, and I started a business about 10 years ago. It's called Salt and Pepper Gifts, and we
Mm.
do promotional kits, PR kits, seating kits, influencer boxes. Basically, nice way to like think of it is like the packages that influencers receive online, and
Mhm.
when they do like the unboxing we help create those. And then we also like manufacture and produce them. And then we also handle the fulfillment for our clients.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Los Angeles. How long you been there?
Uh, since I was 19. So more than 21 years. That's pretty crazy.
Nice, nice. Well, you talked a little bit about your business you started 10 years ago. What first inspired you to start that business?
Yeah. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I think that that probably really helped. I,
Mm,
it's kind of it's interesting just because like I mean obviously that's like what was modeled to me and so it's what's
yeah.
familiar. And so it felt very natural for me to, want to dive into entrepreneurship. Um, but as I was going through my entrepreneurial sort of journey, if you will, I definitely tried a lot of different things, like from, wedding planning to doing, a bunch of charity work and doing silent
Mm,
auction
mm.
boxes. And so it's kind of funny, like when you look back at your journey in retrospect, just because you're like, wow, all of the signs were there, but like
Yeah,
you weren't able to put the whole puzzle together. And then like when you look back, you put it together, right? And you're like, oh, I
yeah.
was supposed to go through all of these like different steps and all these different lessons. So anyway, I kind of went on a tangent there, but really, I think what inspired me the most was watching my parents, and
Mm.
seeing them work and having success, and um, you know just watching them, it was super inspiring, and so I knew that that's what I wanted to do as well.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I think it is it's the age-old question of nurture versus nature when it comes to somebody growing up and becoming who they are. And I think a lot of it is nurture, just the environment people grow up in.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was normal. Oh, this is what we do as a family. And so
Yeah.
awesome, awesome. As an entrepreneur, you've likely faced a lot of setbacks. Can
Yeah.
you share a moment when things didn't go as planned and you adapted?
Yeah. So, I mean, with my industry in particular, like everything is done last minute, and so you have to be like, you got to
Yeah.
be really quick, and you've got to be able to problem solve. And I actually think it's like probably one of the most important skill sets to have now, right? Like in today's
Mm.
age, is like how quickly can you solve
Oh,
problems.
yeah.
But I'll go back to one that was like a little bit more recent, just so that we stay sort of current here with like events and whatnot. But so I primarily work in the entertainment industry, and back in 2023, June, there was the writers' strike, and then there was the actors' strike, and they were back to back. So it was almost like
Uh,
six
uh, uh,
months of no production being done because these individuals were on strike.
Oh,
And so that's like a big problem for us in our business because what we do is like the promotional boxes. So if nothing's being produced, then we basically don't
mm,
have work. Um, and so that was really challenging, like to go through and to like kind of, pick up the pieces and figure out, okay, like where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Who are we going to target? We know that it can't be within like the entertainment space. So again, I think like,
yeah,
it's able, the ability to like problem solve, but like I would say that's more on like a case by case situation. But I think, being adaptable and like willing and able to pivot in situations is really important. So that's exactly what we had to do in order to get back up on our feet until the strikes were over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and by entertainment, you're talking movies, Hollywood, and all that. Wow. Yeah, I remember. I think I remember that, and there were probably a couple movies coming out, but
Yeah.
so that ability to adapt and pivot
Mhm.
when your what's the saying? Meat and potatoes is
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
not bringing in the things you want. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
and I think like one thing that I've also learned just about, business in general and like pivoting is that a lot of times like when people, something happens, right? And then they do have to pivot, like they think they have to make this drastic change, of what it is that they're doing.
Mm.
And I would say the most important thing is like a lot of times it's just a 5-degree shift or a 2-degree shift,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, and so it's not
That's
like
good.
this like big thing because like if it becomes this big thing, it can be very cumbersome and like overwhelming. And I think that especially in today's age, like there's so many people who like kind of have this like fight or flight like mentality. And so it's like you can like
Oh,
freeze, like when you have like when you're comfortable doing the one thing and then you're having to just, 180 and do like another. I talk with my hands a lot, sorry.
oh no, you're good. You're good.
But
That's rich.
yeah. So
That's rich.
that's definitely like one thing for sure that I've like learned. What about you? Like just in terms of like
Mm.
things that you've learned, like in your business and what you do.
For me, I think one of the big things is the consistency,
Hmm.
just to keep going,
Yeah.
because I'm helping families in pre-foreclosure, and there are several families more often than not who say, leave me alone, or
Yeah.
I got it taken care of. And
Yeah.
then 4 to 5 months later, they're texting me saying, hey, I actually need your help. Hey, I actually have no other options. Hey, the bank actually did not approve me for such and such program. I need to sell my house. And so
Yeah.
just the consistency after hearing the no,
Yeah.
and then the consistency after you've not even reached the family, because a lot of families don't open their doors,
Sure.
don't call back, don't text. And so consistently reaching out to someone who you've not even seen yet,
Yeah.
I think has been the defining factor for some of the success I've experienced so far.
Yeah.
Big
I know
time.
that's definitely got to be tough, like for sure, because it's like, hey, I'm just gonna like keep reaching out to the same person who's not answering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that 6 month strike,
Mhm.
and this kind of goes into my next question. What, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that hurdle, but was there a hurdle, a setback, a challenge that almost caused you to quit?
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I've had like a few of those, right? Like
Yeah.
I think everyone like goes through it, and at the end of the day, because life isn't perfect, right? Like you're gonna go
Yes.
through seasons, and there's gonna be
Mhm.
really good seasons, and there's gonna be really hard seasons. But I think again, I go back to I truly believe that those are all lessons that we're supposed to be
Mm.
learning.
Hmm.
And we're being put through those things for a specific reason. And so I think like if you can sit comfortably in the uncomfortable,
That's good right there.
then I
That's
think
good.
that you can always, power through. But not that it's, of course it's going to take perseverance, it's going to take commitment, it's going to take dedication, it's going to take self-work, it's going to take all of these things, right? And
Yeah.
so it's like, and that's a lot. Like that's a lot to ask of someone. And so most people don't choose that route. Like they just
Mm,
choose the easier way to go or the easier
yeah.
path. But I think that if you're willing to do the work and you're willing to sort of roll with the punches, if you will, like then I think, there's so much opportunity,
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there for everyone. And I really believe that like each of us also have like our own unique gifts and our own unique talents and capabilities. And so we
Yeah.
should never really be threatened by, you know, other people, you know what I mean, or what they're going through, or having this fear that something's going to be like taken away from us. So
Yeah.
just kind
Right.
of being like having that mindset and knowing and believing like in my core like
Mm,
that everything is happening like when it's supposed to be happening makes it easier to like go
mm.
through the process. But I didn't really like answer your question. So I guess I kind of set that up more. Um,
So awesome.
but yeah, so something that happened to me was again also last year. It was in 2023. So it was actually it happened simultaneously when the writer and the actor strike was going on. It also I happened to be getting married. So the
Oh,
fact that someone was doing this while I was busy planning a wedding and trying to like figure out how to like run and operate, my business,
wow.
is I think it's very alarming. But anyway, so what had happened was it was a longtime employee. I'm not going to say names. I don't want to do anything like that. But anyway, I thought that this person was someone that I could trust. I'd known them, for over a decade. I thought that they were a true friend. And we just happened to work together. We weren't partners, but she betrayed me. And basically went behind my
Mm,
back, stole my clients, wrote fraudulent invoices, and then started her own company, essentially doing what I do. Um, and
wow.
when I was going through that, and I was uncovering all of the information and starting again to put the pieces of the puzzle together and realize like, wow, like this really happened, and then just constantly being thrown like new surprises of like what actually happened,
Yeah.
um was a huge like setback, like for me.
Wow.
And I think that you go through, just like you do when you're grieving, you go through different sort of phases of the healing process there. And
Yeah.
I think you have some pretty like big lows. And again, like, can you pull yourself out of that and move past it?
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I think betrayal is one of the worst pains.
Yeah.
It's wow. Wow. Sorry. Sorry. And you've kept going, and that's a true testament of character. And for you not to on this platform say names and be just tear her down, that's testament to your character also. So
Yeah. I mean, I
mm,
think like one of what was interesting about the healing in this is that I went through, like the anger phase, the sad
mm,
phase, the
understood that.
I can't believe this is happening,
Mm,
the victim phase, like, all of the things, right? Like, because it's part of
mm,
healing.
mm, mhm,
But I knew that I had like truly healed when and I mean, of course, there's going to be moments like that come back. So when I say healed, it's like, I mean, overall, I'm healed, like from this experience.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but I knew that I had truly healed when me and my husband were on a hike. and we were just talking, just having some great conversation. And I, we were talking about this like particular instance, and I was like, you know
Mm,
what? I actually today like can say thank you. Like,
mm,
thank you, like for doing that because like I don't have to go through all of these like other little nuances and things
mm,
that I
mhm,
was like putting up with. And like and so to be able to sit here and say like I'm not mad, like I mean if you did
mm.
what you did, I believe in karma, like, and so you didn't
Yeah,
do it the right way, and like the truth always reveals itself. Not and also it's like I don't even need like revenge or anything like that.
yeah,
Just
good. Mhm.
just you
Let it
go,
be.
you do your thing, and like thank
Mhm.
you like for
Yeah.
actually because it allowed me to heal in other areas of my life.
Mm,
Like stuff that I was holding on to, like old beliefs, old stories, old things. And so, like, again, I go back to that was something that I had to go through,
yeah,
but not to say that, like, it didn't hurt because it did. It
yeah,
hurt
yeah. Understood.
immensely. Yeah.
Understood. Yeah, for sure. Mm, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I have a few more questions, but I might just pick and choose the
Yeah.
ones that I think my listeners are really going to want to hear. This next one is, what's been the most defining moment in your journey so far
Yeah.
that has shaped you today as a business owner?
The most defining moment, I think, I gotta think about this. Like for me, is I think like the growth of my company.
Mm.
Knowing that I started like literally in an apartment. Um,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, I mean, I
yeah.
literally started packing gifts like in an apartment. Like it was crazy. And then
Humble beginnings.
yeah, and then to like move, to a garage and then to a
Mm,
warehouse and a bigger
awesome,
warehouse and a bigger warehouse. And so like to see that progression and know
awesome.
that like all of those things are happening because of your hard work and
Yes,
your passion and love like for what
yes.
you do, I think is really rewarding. So, again, like I started, from nothing really, and have built a multi-million dollar company now. So
Awesome.
to be able to like look back and say like cool, no one did that like I did that is like super rewarding for me.
Awesome, awesome. What what advice would you give to someone who's thinking of starting their own business?
um start. I think that's
Yeah,
it. I mean,
that's
I think like if you stop making like excuses or reasons like why you can't do something,
hmm.
I would just start doing the thing, And I think that actually like within the sub two community pace like talks a lot about that. And
Yeah,
on the daily dials like Caroline Kane and
yeah,
Marlon and all like everyone, right? And I think it's so important to just take action and do the thing. Um, but I mean that is also followed with what you said earlier, which is the consistency, right? Like take
hmm.
action, do the thing, but make sure that you're consistent in doing the thing. Like don't
Yeah,
just do it once and then expect a result. It a lot of time takes a lot of work.
that's solid advice. Start and be consistent.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're coming to the end here. How
Yeah.
can my listeners get a hold of you if they're wanting to follow you, follow your story, and maybe even do business with you?
Yeah. So my Instagram is so my company name is Salt and Pepper Gifts. We're based in Los Angeles, and my Instagram is Salt and Pepper Co. With an underscore at the end.
Okay.
And that's a great place to like, get a hold of us. We have like our LinkedIn, not our LinkedIn, our linktree.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There, like where you can book a
Hmm.
meeting or message us. That's always a great place.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will make sure to put those links in our show notes so that they can access that easily. Mary Noon, thank you so much for giving of your time. It's the most precious resource we have. We can't buy it back. We can't get more of it. And so thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
And
no,
my,
thank you.
and to my listeners, what are you doing on this Monday to build your future, to lay the groundwork so you can get the future you want brick by brick? Thanks for joining us. Have a good day.